The Okuama community is emptying out. Why? Because people are fleeing. This week kicks off with devastating news out of Delta State, where 14 soldiers were tragically found dead, their bodies bearing the gruesome marks of violence. I mean, it's a scene that you wouldn't wish on your worst enemy. Decapitations, bodies mutilated, the senselessness of it all. It's left me speechless. What are we dealing with here? These fallen soldiers weren't just numbers. They were fathers, sons, brothers, comrades in arms. Amongst them was commanding officer, 2 army majors, 13 brave soldiers, each now with a family left to mourn their untimely death. The bodies were discovered by soldiers from the Joint Task Force of the Nigerian Army, scattered along the NDDC jetty and riverbanks. I mean, just a horrific picture of death. And it's really just a stark reminder of the dangers that are faced by the armed forces as they are striving to protect our communities. And the question that we all have to ask is, who did this? Why the sickening brutality? These are questions that are lingered about what sparked such brutality and how is justice going to be served to those who lost their lives. To give you guys more context, the roots of this problem, it actually stems from a tribal clash between 2 communities, the Okuama and the Okuama community in Delta State. These 2 communities, they've been engaged in disputes since January 27, 2024, when some youths from Okuama were said to have ambushed and killed 3 Okuama youths. The soldiers were then sent, that they were going to quell this violence as something happened again recently. Unfortunately, they ended up becoming victims themselves. Although, we still cannot ascertain that the youths carried out the gruesome murder. Just a heads up, guys. Although there's a widely spread rumor that they did. But these men were not going to go and engage in violence. They were going on a peacekeeping mission in land disputes, and they were caught in crossfire. Now that this has happened, the Okuama community is emptying out. Why? Because people are fleeing and they're afraid of what's going to happen next. Because immediately after that incident happened, when the soldiers found those community members dead, we've now seen recent videos that the community has been razed down. Essentially, houses are being set on fire. Here, take a look at the videos. There are whispers that the house being set on fire. Allegedly, we don't know that it's the military who are, doing it in retaliation. People are pointing fingers to the armed forces as the perpetrators of all the houses that are being burned down. And I think, again, that's a huge accusation. So we need to be very careful before we say this is what the military did. That's allegedly what people are saying. But not everyone believes that. It's actually the youths that are responsible for killing the soldiers. And I actually kind of agree with that thought too. And let me tell you why. Someone on social media, Whitfield, an ex-user, posted this. Youths, or you guys want to give a dog a bad name to kill the dog. Those youths should have been recruited and sent to Sambisa since they are strong enough, or the force personnel were not well trained. Bloggers should be very careful of what they blog, I beg, end quote. I agree. We cannot confirm anything, but the tension, it's really thick. And one thing we know is that the army, you don't kill army officers and they won't find you. They are on a manhunt to capture every single person that was involved in the murder of those soldiers. And I agree with that they should investigate and find. But there are a lot of people who want them to go beyond investigating. They think that, it's okay for the army to retaliate. I say this, 2 wrongs don't make it right. I cannot imagine how these soldiers feel. I cannot imagine what they're going through. I cannot imagine the feeling, the rage of what the families feel. But I really do have to say, 2 wrongs don't make it right. We're not saying we devalue the lives of fallen soldiers at all. It's important that we get justice, but we cannot condone a cycle of violence. We can't. Some more thoughts from social media. Spotlight Abby tweeted this and said, what happened in Okuama Delta is shocking and condemnable, though the jury is still out on the cause. But Nigerian armed forces need to adopt a more intelligence-driven, nuanced, and professional approach. Instead of the adversarial way and relate with the hapless and unarmed citizens, burning down village is primitive and suspicious. Some of them have turned ordinary folks into ordinary, allegedly, if they did it, into ordinary displaced persons in their own very country where there is no war, especially in the south, and southeast. This is not how to build trust and partnership with civilians, end quote. I fully agree with what she said, because you cannot say that is the way you're going to get what you want. And a lot of people unfortunately are actually calling for the massacre of the community. And I'm just wondering, guys, how? Where is the sense in that now? You guys want army officials to go and attack citizens? Why are we canvassing for this? We're not being any different from our leaders. a lot of the leaders that we say, are not just, they're not fair. That's not justice. Justice is putting people on trial and ensuring that they have the rights to have legal counsel defend them. Jungle justice is never justice. Why? Because in jungle justice, people get looped into the mob and they possibly could have had nothing to do with the crime. So jungle justice is never the way to go. We all know what happened with Alu 4. We know. So please, let's not call for jungle justice here. Another person online, Yusuf, is asking a really important question. Why are the calls more about wiping out the community than fishing out and eliminating the criminal elements that kill the soldiers? For one, the primary duty of the army is the defense of the territorial integrity of a country. Nigeria, as we know, is highly militarized, and you often find soldiers carrying out the jobs of law enforcement. Let's not forget the soldiers' sacrifice. They died protecting their communities. Their memories deserve to be honored. Simple. Their memories deserve to be honored, and thinking that, you're going to be doing revenge, you're going to retaliate, is honoring their memories. It's not. We have to remember that they are not just headlines. 14 families have been shattered. 14 mothers, sisters, wives, fathers, their children, their sons are gone. It doesn't just impact the military, it tears through the fabric of our whole community. What? How is this possible? Who has the balls to do this to military men? I want to hear your thoughts. How do you think the army should handle this? How do you think they should go about dealing with this? I want to hear your thoughts. Please comment down below. We're praying for every single one of those family members, that their sacrifice will never be forgotten. Their memories will live on as a testament to the courage and dedication to duty. We're going to continue to closely follow this story. We're praying for the lives and the families of every single one. I pray that they know that their memories, their sacrifice will never be in vain. I'm praying for the families, every single person that's attached to every single soldier, that they will find peace, they will find hope. We're going to continue following this story. Let me know your thoughts. I'm gutted. I'm sad. God help Nigeria. We do have some developing news. Click on next video to find out.